Never stop fighting for your kids. Never. If you're sick and you're ill and you get over your addiction or something, you fight like hell for them.
You do have to deal with it eventually. Right. So what was it, is that moment, Rob, you realised you had to change or you'd die?
But that was with me all the time. But one morning, early hours in the back ends of Manchester, factories and offices, no people around, poured down with rain. I was coming out of another bender. The head was banging. I dropped down to my hands and knees and I started to cry like a baby. So I got molested by my priest over and over again. So I wasn't religious in any kind of way. But I remember in this rain, I was crying from my belly. But I wasn't crying because I lost my kids and my houses and my cars. I was crying because that was the second that I realized I couldn't stop drinking. And I looked up to the sky and I said, if there's a God up there, I can't do this on my own anymore. Guy walked around the corner, middle of nowhere, missed his last bus home, all that stuff. Took me back to his house the next day in a meeting, and a guy called Johnny we could never trace again. But all the stuff that he taught me is what I do today. That was the kind of choice wasn't mine. It just happened. And then lots of other stuff from there, like, got cancer and that disappeared and and it's just crazy. My life has been protected by either God, Jesus, or an angel. And it's like every time I get near danger, I come out the other side. And when you continue this and when you continue this life, if life is not 10 out of 10 every single day, you're doing it wrong. If you don't get up in the morning, go, this is going to be a great day and expect good things, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong, guys. This is not, if I'm lucky. No, it's got nothing to do with luck. It's called the law of attraction. It's called resetting the brain, resetting in the patternings. Because my daughter, Charlie, I have two daughters, Abigail and Charlie. After 31 years, about 4 years ago, maybe more than 32, I got a message on Messenger. Now, I'm a concierge doctor, which basically means that my patients, I only deal with 4 or 5 of them, even though the company deals with loads. And the contract is if I get a message in the middle of the night, I've got at the nearest private airport and there's a plane waiting for me. That's part of the contract that we signed. You're paying millions of dollars to come. I got a message one morning. I looked at it through squinted eye and it was my daughter, Charlie. And I woke my wife up. I said, Janet, it's Charlotte, it's Charlotte, it's Charlotte. I'm crying. Oh my God. And she says, this is what she said to me. Hey, Dad. She called me Dad, right? Hey, Dad, I've just seen you on TV over here. It's enough time. This is it. I can't do this any longer. I need to see you. I've got something to show you. So we have people around us, of course, and within an hour I'm flying back to the UK. We stayed overnight in a hotel. I got next morning crying, I'm shaking. But 400 yards from my house. And I started to walk there and I couldn't walk. I was shaking. I was crying. My wife was holding me up. I can't do this. I can't do this. And we got to the door and I couldn't knock. I mean, every bad memory came back of what kind of father was I or role model. And just before I turned to go, she must have seen us. She opened the door quickly and we held each other and we cried and we laughed. I thought it was an hour. My wife said it was a minute. And then she took me by my hand. And if you don't choose this life, guys, you're crazy. She took me by my hand, she walked me into a living room, and she handed me my 3-month-old granddaughter.
Oh, that's nice.
And right there and then, I knew I was doing the right thing. So when I came back home, we opened this globally. Like most of it's telehealth that we do. Breathbox Studio is telehealth. We reach as many people as we can because, I believe in God. I don't go to church. I've never read the Bible. I'm not religious, but I believe in God. And when I finally get to heaven, I know one thing He's not going to ask me. How much was that house? How much was them watches you used to wear? Well, how much was that? It's going to ask me one thing. How many people did you help? And I want a big number. And that's why we do shows like this, is because it's not about the money. It's not about the fame. It's not about any of that. It's about being a father. That girl, by the way, is my lead therapist today, my Manchester UK office. And my youngest daughter got in contact about 9 months ago. So this is what we do. It's our family trying to help your family, no matter where you are in the world. We can get you well. And a lot of times, Brian, alcoholic dad will come to me with his daughter that he's just got in contact with and family, and it ends up a father and a daughter helping a father and a daughter. It's just magical.
I hope from this, because I know, God, I don't even numbers of dads, particularly dads. Mums are not exempt from this, but dads mainly that struggle with relationships. My own dad cannot talk to me. He just can't. So we're just divorced now. It's pointless. It's toxic to me. He just doesn't help me at all. Yeah. And it's not helping him. But there is situations where I've seen dads and daughters come together. Only 2 weeks ago, and I can't go into too much detail about it, but it was moving
Magical.
to say that. And I think we just need to get that message that it's not all lost if both parties in the situation that you've had.
I want to
can
say
fix
one
it.
thing to dads, okay? Never stop fighting for your kids. Never. If you're sick and you're ill and you get over your addiction or something, you fight like hell for them, because on my journey, it ends really well. But I used to send my wife over here send presents, Christmas and birthday, send presents to your mom. They'll give it to her. I never knew that she never give it to them until Charlie got back in contact, because she didn't. Because my ex-wife would say, you never see the kids again. So I sent every Christmas and every birthday, I sent Karen a cuddly toy over. And I did that for 30 years, because I was never going to give up. And about 3 years ago, so I'm already in touch with my daughter. My mom and dad died, and they went, my sister and my daughter went around to clean the house, get it ready for sale. And she found a huge, like, sideboard in one of the spare rooms. And she opened it, and all these cuddly toys fell out. And my daughter realized that it was every gift from the past 30 years that I sent. So you fight for them kids, guys. You can fully recover. You can get your kids back. You can be the best father in the world. Do not think that's it just because your wife wanted to see him. I'm glad my wife didn't see him. I'd have killed him or something. So I was okay with it after I got well, but you keep fighting for him. And I'm telling you now, if you do the work and do the right thing and change your life, they will come back. They're your children, for God's sake, and you're their dad. But never, ever, ever give up on them. Never.
No, I don't very rarely talk about this. So I've got a daughter, never seen her. Sadly, her mum gave her up for adoption rather than telling me that she was pregnant with my daughter. And like you, I did find out when she was 12 that she was mine, but I wasn't in a very good place, and I didn't really want to meet her because I just didn't want her to go through what I went through with my parents, and that just chaos and problems and unstableness and stuff. But now that I'm getting better and I'm moving forward and becoming a little bit better with myself, I want my daughter, but it's difficult, isn't it? It's really hard.
Is it though? Is it? I'll say this, is it really difficult? The way our mind works, if we say it's difficult, it's difficult. We say we can't do something, we can't do it. We say we can. Daughters are very connected with fathers. And when a daughter leaves the house and grows up, that missing of the father devastates them in all kinds of ways you would never, ever imagine. So all we can do is try, we're the same thing. Well, I don't know where she is. Find her. And she was adopted. Find her. It's 2026. Yeah. You can find anything you want to go find her. And if it's her decision at the end not to see you, which I doubt very much, unless she's going through the stuff that's genetic and she's still angry, they always come back. And my daughter always says to me that the day I come back fixed a lot of her trauma, because they will think that you didn't want her and you gave up. No. Despite all the moms, well, he didn't want you. He didn't. No. Don't go there, guys. You fight for them fucking kids. And it's the last thing you do, because the only way you pass this shit on, guys, is by not chasing them and going after them. The only way that you make her suffer in later life is not gaining contact, because you think she doesn't want me in her life. That's not your decision, not you personally, Brian. That's not your decision to make, guys. You've got to try. You've got to get in their lives and leave the choice to them, and still send them gifts if they say no, because it will turn around. I've never seen it not happen, guys. Never. Where the guy's gone by, I cry every time a father or a mother gets connected back with their children. That's what our nonprofit does. It gets dads ready for court. We pay legal fees. We'll buy a freaking apartment or rent apartment for a year for them. And the moms, it's like, too many families suffer from what we've done. Too many families suffer from the trauma that we've been through. And we see this in relationships where the woman's gone through some violent abuse or sexual abuse with her husband. They got divorced. They started dating a new guy. And because she hasn't done her work on that, around the trauma, the new guy ends up paying for the last guy's torment. And it has to stop. And it has to stop today, guys. And if you're stuck and don't know, call us, message us, Facebook us. There's no way after listening to this, you're not going to change your life. There's no way, because all the alarm bells are here, guys, for you to help.
No, and I do agree. I want to make contact because she's now 30. So my contact with her is for her to make the decision, because her mum made the decision to give her away at birth. And I never got anything at all. So at least she can go, I don't want you, or I do want you, on whatever basis.
Correct.
And you do have to try. I only mention it's difficult because it's financially difficult, because you have to pay for people to do, because it's council over here and you've got to get access and stuff. So I get that. I completely empathize with you. It's a difficult thing, isn't it? Particularly as a young man, I wasn't interested in being a dad. I knew I couldn't be a dad because I was just away with my own trauma and problems.
Yeah.
So do celebrity, this is just because it's a thing we seem to be attracted, don't we, to the world of celebrity.
Yeah.
So do celebrities struggle with addictions differently, or is it exactly the same underneath all that glitter and gold?
It's exactly the same. It's a little bit harder for them to recover because they are surrounded by yes men and they got nothing to live for. So they get up with $500 million in the bank after doing a movie. What they got to live for? You got no purpose. So it's harder. And that's where our no nonsense stuff. So I don't know whether people in the UK, I didn't know him when I came here, but Eddie Van Halen, the lead singer, guitarist, from Van Halen, he's my first person over here. And I can share this because I have legal stuff from him. Even though he's passed, waiting at the airport for him. And he's going through some bad times, addiction. And, his record company has dropped in. So he's on a normal flight coming over in coach. He gets off. I don't know who he is, Brian. I'm waiting there in the waiting area. And up he comes and he said, he's Dr. Robb. And I said, yeah. He said, it's Eddie. I said, hey, Eddie, great to see you. He said, it's Eddie Van Halen. I said, yeah, you said Eddie. Are you ready? He said, well, shouldn't this be the other way around? Shouldn't you be recognizing me? And I turned to him and I said, do me a favor, Eddie, get back on that jet that you came up on, book yourself a flight back home because you bullshit and I'm taking a shit, and I walked away and I counted to 10. I didn't get to 10. I got to 4 and he came running after me. He said, well, I've just been surrounded. No, if you don't do as you're told, I will fire your ass. Everything's paid up front. So you've paid $500,000 up done already. I don't give a shit. There's no refunds. You do as I tell you to do on my team and you'll have the best life in the world. You don't and you're going to die. It's your choice. I don't give a shit. And I always say this to people and I truly mean it. I don't care whether you come on board with us or not. I don't care. But if you do come on board with us, then you're my guy. You're part of my family that I will get well. But yeah, a lot of them are hard, like huge movie stars. I'm working with 2 movie stars right now in England. They're a pain in the ass. So I'll be coming over there in the next couple of weeks just to psychologically beat the shit out of them so they realize that this is the time to get well. This is not the time to keep putting it off. So, yeah.
So I must on that. I mean, I'm not a celebrity. I'm a minor celebrity. I've got to add a little bit of humour to it because I recently did a show for the BBC Scotland about I'm a Welsh swimmer, and you may or not have seen it, but I was on there with a couple of celebrities. It's Hooley from Balamory. Well, you're probably not open know what Balamory is. No, Scottish children's programme and a Scottish a comedy show called Still Game, and Victor and their husband and wife, and they do Welsh swimming, and we went. Occasionally, since that, I do get stopped. And people go, oh, you're that bloke, aren't you? And it was literally 10 minutes of me talking about prostate cancer and mental health. But I'm nowhere near Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
So I can still wander around everywhere. But people like him, I only just use because his name came into my brain straight away. So that must cause so much extra problems for you if you have got that alcoholic tendency or you've got trauma, because we all see everything going on, all the terrible stuff in the telly and the news at the moment with children being abused, particularly in Hollywood and stuff like that. So these people have got trauma and they got it trying to succeed. So it must be so much indelibly printed. So you must have to work a damn sight harder on them than you do on Joe Blogs that came from a council estate in Wigan.
Yeah. I think that's why we have this sliding scale. Like if somebody comes to us who can't afford, we just say, how much you spend on beer a week? About $40. That's your pay here. It's $160 to come here a month. So we have that sliding scale, but the rich people, we have to get bodyguards, we have to get drivers, we have to get security, all that great stuff that we get for them. But when it comes down in the ranch to what's going to go, then we're very harsh with them because, we don't really play that stuff. It's harder for them because they've never been told no in the past. So everyone around him earns a good living of this guy getting on stage every night or making movies, and we're that guy that goes, So they call me the Gordon Ramsay of addiction in America, which Gordon's a good friend of mine. So I think he started that off. Yeah. As a no-nonsense guy, he said, I've never met a doctor like this. Yeah, shut up and sit down. Let's tell you how this is going to go, So I find when we're harsh and direct, the experience and knowledge that we have, we seem to get a connection. As long as you do that with all these celebrities, you know where you stand from the first minute. And they've heard of me. I'm famous over here in the addiction world. So by the time I get to the house, they know my reputation.
So reputation precedes you, basically.
Yeah, I mean, everybody. Yeah. I mean, I wrote a piece for Harvard University. I've been on TV. I've been in the TV show was on in Dallas, had 18 million viewers on a daily basis. It was syndicated. I've been on Oprah. I've been, high profile. I've got books out there. I do all this other stuff. So yeah, it's difficult. I always say to people, if you don't know who I am, then you're living a great life, because if you do know who I am, you're going through some shit, everyone knows in that scenario. So yeah.